Shout out to the Black Squad. I am Kenyatta Black. Thank you for tuning in. It's a whole lot of light-skinned hatred going on in the black community these days, ain't it? God damn. We're going to talk about it. Thank you for tuning in. I am Kenyatta Black. Make sure you like the stream, join the chat, share the stream, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know, growing up, I had no idea that there was this whole light skin, dark skin thing going on in the black community because my mother is very light skinned and my father is very dark skinned. So, you know, as a child, the naive tale that I had was, that light-skinned folk and dark-skinned folk got along just fine, but that is not the case. That is not the case at all. And these days, it is abundantly clear that dark-skinned Negroes have a serious hatred for light-skinned Negroes, though they deny it, and deny it some more. When confronted with that, they show it every chance that they get. I remember being caught off guard. I'm not going to say any names, but I remember being caught off guard when somebody on my page, who's been on my page for years, said some very hateful things about Steph Curry. Blatantly called him a half-breed in the comment section on my page. And I was very caught off guard because I had no idea he felt that way about our light-skinned brothers and sisters. I had no idea he felt that way. I didn't even, for once, I didn't even know how to respond to somebody. I didn't even know how to respond to it because I was so caught off guard. I had no idea he felt that way. But that is just an example of how the hatred that dark-skinned folk have for light-skinned folk in our community rears its ugly head seemingly all the time these days. But whenever dark-skinned folk are confronted with the colorism that they display all the time, they deny it. And will even try to play victim. As though colorism is a one-way street. And that's what these dark-skinned folk are trying to convince the world. Or at the very least, that's what they're trying to convince the black community of, that colorism can only be displayed from light-skinned folk to dark-skinned folk. It can't be displayed from dark-skinned folk towards light-skinned folk. That can't be the case. But we all know that that's bullshit. We all know that that's bullshit. And see, this whole light-skinned, dark-skinned thing, it's rearing its ugly head in this ongoing back and forth between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. That's why I brought it up. Team Dark Skin is trying to gaslight the world into believing that Kendrick is winning this back and forth. Kendrick Lamar is losing. And he's actually losing terribly now that we know a bunch of the information that Kendrick thought he had was false information that was actually fed to him by Drake and his team. They actually manipulated this dude and fed this dude false information about some mystery 11-year-old daughter. And instead of, confirming whether or not that was true or not, Kendrick just jumped in the studio, threw it on wax, and ran with it. Then, even after he found out that he had been played for a fool, doubled down on it again. Come on, man. Imagine, like I posted earlier, man, imagine writing several diss records about somebody based on false information that they fed you. Fam. And then getting past that, just listening to the records, like Euphoria was mid as fuck. Euphoria was mid as fuck. Meet the Graham stung a little. That one stung a little. But that verse where he's talking to Drake's imaginary 11-year-old daughter, you got to throw that verse out the fucking window because there is no 11-year-old daughter. There is no 11-year-old daughter that Drake's been keeping a secret. That was false information that was fed to Kendrick by Drake himself. The nigga bruh, if you battling a brother, and the brother you battling plays the shit out of you by feeding you false information, and you run with that false information and make a record based on that false information, like, bruh, you look like a whole jackass now, bruh. You look like a whole jackass. Come on, man. So you gotta throw that third verse, or was it whatever verse that was where he was talking about the 11-year-old girl, the 11-year-old daughter, you gotta throw that out the fucking window because there is no 11-year-old daughter. That Not Like Us track was fucking garbage. That song is garbage. Garbage. And yo, man, this shit's crazy. It's like the industry has been feeding y'all shit for so long that y'all have started to like it. Imagine eating shit for so long that you actually begin to enjoy the flavor. That's basically what's been going on in hip hop for the last maybe 15 fucking years. The music industry has been feeding you shit in the form of hip hop, and you people have begun to enjoy the flavor. So much so that when somebody comes along who can actually rap a little bit, you people lose your fucking minds. Yeah, okay, Kendrick can actually rap. So because Kendrick can actually rap, and we are smack dab in the middle of this era of garbage MCs, you people are losing your fucking minds over this dude as if he is God with a microphone. Meanwhile, he said nothing. He has said nothing in any of these records. What was that? Was that the... I'm trying to think. Was that the Euphoria track? I think that was the Euphoria track. It's a 6-minute diss record. Dude had like 3 fucking bars in that whole entire 6-minute song that actually hit a little hard. 6-minute record. There's literally only 3 parts of the song where I'm like, okay, that was kind of hard. Everything else was mediocre. Then when you get to the Meet the Grams. Now the Meet the Grams, because of the concept of the song, he's talking to Drake's kid and he's talking to Drake's mama. Again, we gotta throw out that verse where he's talking about this 11-year-old imaginary kid that doesn't exist. And, you know, he's talking to Drake's pops and all that. And, okay, that shit went kind of hard. The beat is garbage. The beat for that is garbage. I don't know if Kendrick is picking out these beats or somebody else is picking out the beats. But if Kendrick is picking these beats, somebody else needs to pick the beats for Kendrick because he's a terrible beat picker. You know what I'm saying? You got rappers like that, like Nas back in the day. Nas back in the day used to pick some lame ass fucking beats. You know what I'm saying? Some rappers just don't know how to choose their beats. As a matter of fact, Tupac was like that. Tupac was like that at the very beginning stages of his career. He was like that. It got to a point where Shock G started to realize that they were in the studio and they were going back and forth over these beats or whatever. And Shock G said he realized, okay, he wants me to pick the beats for him. Because I guess somewhere early on in Pac's career, he realized he wasn't the best at picking beats. Right? Which is obviously more than you could say for some rappers. At least Pac realized it about himself. Again, if Kung Fu Kenny is picking these beats, he need to stop picking the beats. That Not Like Us shit is trash, bro. Trash. The beat is fucking trash. His cadence on the record is trash. His flow is trash. The sound is trash. Everything is trash about that record. Complete trash. Now let's talk about Drake. Everything you can say about Drake, at least what Drake is spitting is actually facts. At least what Drake is spitting about Kenny is shit that at least most of us didn't know about Kenny. Most of us didn't know that he's a woman beater. Most of us didn't know that. Most of us didn't know that he'd been engaged to his fiance since 2015 and ain't married her yet, which obviously means he don't want to marry the broad. Ain't nobody gonna be engaged for 9 going on 10 years if they really want to get married, especially when they are obviously in a financially stable situation where they could easily get married. He obviously don't want to marry her for one reason or another. Who knows? And that's his business. If he don't want to marry the broad, he don't want to marry the broad. I could care less one way or the other about that. I'm just saying, we didn't know that. Now, me not being the biggest Drake fan or the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan, I didn't know that that Kenny had a record about, being touched on when he was a little boy. I didn't know that. Oh. You know what I'm saying? So, and let me keep it all the way 100 across the board before anybody gets the wrong fucking idea. I'm not impressed with Kendrick Lamar's diss records, and I'm not impressed with Drake's diss records. Either one of them. Neither one of them dropped the ether. Neither one of them dropped the hit 'em up. Neither one of them dropped the no Vaseline. Neither one of them dropped the second round knockout. Neither one of them dropped a diss record that deserves to be mentioned with the greatest diss records of all time. Neither one of them dropped a record that deserves to be mentioned in the same sentence as the greatest diss records of all time. Neither one of them. Neither one of them. At all. These motherfuckers been going back and forth, dissing each other to fucking party records and R&B beats. Like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. These motherfuckers, for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, they've been dissing each other to party records and R&B beats. Bruh, for anybody to be thinking that anybody got cooked. Bruh, you out of your mind. Nobody got cooked here. Drake didn't get cooked. Kendrick Lamar didn't get cooked. But if you want to just narrow it down, who's winning this from a from a non-biased point of view. Again, I'm not the big like, bro. You think I'm bumping Drake in my fucking car when I'm riding somewhere? For real? Do I look like come on, bro? Come on, bro. And I ain't bumping Kendrick Lamar like that either. There might be a handful, man. There might be 3 or 4 Kendrick Lamar records that actually get played in my fucking car. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? I don't really rock with either one of these dudes. So look, if you want to look at this from a non-biased position, I conclude that Drake is winning. I conclude that Drake is winning based on his last 2 joints. The Family Matters joint, and then this last one. What the fuck did he call it? The Heart Part 6. And that's another thing, man. They both got some goofy ass names for these diss records, man. The fuck? Even the names for these diss records are kind of corny. The Heart Part 6. Like, what? The fuck? Like, for real, man. Listen, man. I came from the era, I grew up during the era of, when 2 MCs were battling each other, man, they really battled each other, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play no music because I don't think I can get away with it on my channel. Look, man. Even the LL and Cannabis battle overshadows this. The energy that Cannabis brought to the second round knockout song. The energy that LL brought with his response. As soon as the beat came on, you felt the energy. You could feel the energy straight out the gate in LL's response. These motherfuckers, especially your boy Kung Fu Kenny, the beginning of half of his diss records sound like R&B records. What the fuck is this? The fucking poetry hour? The fuck is this bullshit? And y'all running around here going ape shit over arguably the weakest fucking battle in hip hop history. I don't think it's the weakest battle, but it should be mentioned. It should be mentioned in the weakest battles ever. Like this, come on, man. Nobody's been impressive. Nobody has come with, a fucking banger. Nobody's dropped a record where, the beat is a fucking banger. And they just jump on that motherfucker and spit. Neither one of them. Neither one of them. Like they scared of something. Drake even sang one of his fucking verses. Drake even sang one of his fucking verses on the Family Matters joint. But I gotta admit, the shit was hot. But still, I think this is the first time ever that a motherfucker actually sang on a diss record. He sang a whole verse to the motherfucker he was dissing. I think this is the first time in hip hop ever. And this is the shit that everybody's going crazy over. Well, look, man, if you just look at the body of work here that these guys have dropped against each other, nothing's been impressive. Like I said, they've been dissing each other to party records and R&B beats. Nobody's really spitting like that. All the beats that Kenny has dissed Drake to have been fucking corny. Half of the beats that Drake used to diss Kenny have been fucking corny. So, I mean, if we're just looking at this mediocre effort here, and we just take the one or two good songs that the two of them have actually dropped against each other, I think Family Matters and The Heart Part 6 are outdoing Euphoria and Meet the Grams, based on the fact both of those beats, Euphoria and Meet the Grams, are fucking trash. Both of those beats are whack. And a good 1/3 of the information that Kenny is spitting on that track, Family Matters, is false information. Not only false information, but false information that was fed to him by Drake himself. It's hard to come back from that. It's hard to come back from that. You know. And like I said, man, I'm not impressed with either one of these niggas, man. Not impressed with either one of these niggas. But I'm not about to let a bunch of Drake haters and a bunch of Negroes that just hate light-skinned people gaslight me into thinking Kenny done destroyed Drake. Destroyed him where? With what? And I'll tell you another thing too. Another reason you niggas can't gaslight me. Another reason you niggas can't gaslight me is something I'll never really speak about. Something I'll never really speak about. Motherfucker, I rap. Or at least I used to. At this point, I gotta say I used to rap. Cause I ain't wrote a fucking song in, man, I couldn't even tell you last time I wrote a fucking song. Couldn't even fucking tell you last time I wrote a song. But anybody that knows me will tell you, your boy was nice. You understand? Your boy was nice. And I think this is a big difference too. I think it's a huge difference maker between people who can actually rap and people who are just hip hop listeners. Like they say, there's levels to this, right? If you are an avid hip hop listener, even if you love hip hop, grew up on hip hop, there is a huge difference between when it comes to judging someone's skill. When it comes to judging someone's skill, nobody is more equipped to do that than somebody who actually fucking raps. And not just somebody who raps, but somebody who's actually fucking good. Somebody who could actually fucking spit. Not that ABC 1, 2, 3 elementary bullshit. Just throwing a handful of words together because they rhyme. With a choppy ass, whack ass flow. No wordplay, no wittiness. A fucking illiterate flow like you barely graduated high school. No, I'm talking about a motherfucker that can actually spit. And see what I noticed, and my cousin Justin said something about it. I can't remember if he said something about it in the video he did where he was talking about the Kendrick and Drake back and forth, or if he said it in one of his posts. But what he hinted on, I can't remember what he said verbatim, but what he was basically saying was, as a rapper himself, he's not fucking impressed. And I can tell you, as a former rapper myself, I'm not fucking impressed. And let me ask you this question. When you think of, and you might have to go to the battle rappers, your Loaded Lux, your Daylight, Charlie Clips, them niggas. Do you think Charlie Clips is impressed with this back and forth between Drake and Kendrick Lamar? Do you think Loaded Lux is impressed with this back and forth between Drake and Kendrick Lamar? Do you think the battle rappers who can actually fucking spit, do you think they're impressed? I gotta ask y'all, why are y'all so fucking impressed? Why are you so impressed? This was not Ether versus Takeover. This was not second round knockout versus Jack the Ripper. Nobody dropped a No Vaseline type record. Nobody dropped a Hit 'em Up type record. This was mediocre bars, mediocre flow, mediocre energy over party records and R&B beats for the last week and a half, and y'all niggas is impressed and online losing your fucking minds over one of the corniest fucking battles we've ever seen, some of the most mediocre diss records we've ever heard, and going back and forth with other people, arguing with people in people's comment sections, lying to your fucking selves, talking about this person got bodied. No, that person got bodied. Nobody got bodied. Because nobody said nothing all that fucking crazy. Nobody said nothing all that fucking fire. Nobody. But again, Kendrick's beats were fucking trash. Every song he dropped, with the exception of Euphoria and Meet the Grams, was trash. Euphoria was mid. Meet the Grams stung a little bit. But then when you found out that, he was fed the false information, wrote half a fucking song based on false information fed to him by Drake's camp, half of that song goes out the fucking window. Then he follows that up with the Not Like Us bullshit. That shit is garbage. Garbage. From top to bottom. The beat is whack. The hook is whack. His flow is whack. His cadence is whack. The lyrics are garbage. That song is... Bruh. And y'all online losing your fucking minds, bruh. Like, shit make me wanna get back on the music. Make me wanna get back on the fucking music. Cause y'all motherfuckers think anything is hot. Come on, man. Y'all gotta chill with all this light-skinned hatred too, man. Shit is weird. Shit is real weird. Because one thing I've noticed about you dark-skinned Negroes, y'all might talk that shit about light-skinned brothers, but y'all love you some light-skinned sisters. Y'all love some light-skinned sisters. And you know what else y'all love doing too? You know what else you dark skinned Negroes love to do? You love to get with white women, Latin women, Asian women, all these other groups of women, and create the light skinned Negroes you claim to hate so much. Now that's fucking interesting. I can't stand light skinned Negroes, but I'm gonna have a baby with a white woman and create light skinned Negroes. That is some interesting shit. Somebody needs to study that. Somebody needs to study the psychology behind that. That is truly interesting. I do not like light skinned Negroes, but I'm going to make children with a white woman or a Latin woman or an Asian woman, and I'm going to create the light skinned Negroes that I hate. Whew, what do they call that? They call that a mind fuck, right? That's a mind fuck. Niggas and flies. Niggas and flies. I am Kenyatta Black. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to the Black Squad. And until next time, and there will be a next time, remember, bands will make them dance, but these hands will change your face. Deuces.